Oh, wow, look at this. I got a package from my good pal Richie. All right, let's take a look at what's in here. Look at this. We got a bootleg copy of The Many Saints of Newark. Nice. Ooh, some gabagool. Yum. Oh, look, it's a pair of Adriana's panties. How do you know I wanted some of these? Oh, what's under here? Oh my god. It's the jacket! What is up, Sopranos fans? Kino here, and I am so excited for the first day of Sopranos Timber. As you guys know, I'll be doing a new Soprano log every single day this month until the 21st. And we are starting off Season 6, the last season of the show. Or technically, it's the second to last season if you count Season 6 as two distinct seasons. There's a Season 6A and a Season 6B. Some people consider them one season, some people consider them two. But either way, we are wrapping up the show. I'm very sad to be at the end here, but I am so excited to review it with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and let's jump into the episode. This is Members Only. The episode opens with Agent Harris and his new partner. We're going to learn later in this episode that Agent Harris has been transferred away from the Mafia division of the FBI to counterterrorism. So that's going to change his dynamic with Tony in this season. But the very first line uttered is from his partner. And he says that no one ever went broke underestimating the tastes of the American public. This is a quote from another author. And I think it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke about the fact that this show's writing goes against the, typical industry standards of, doing something predictable and instead challenges the viewer. And that's why this show is so incredible. So I think it's kind of a joke against that. But this is actually the first episode to not feature the traditional Star Ledger opening that we get at the beginning of most seasons. Last season, we didn't get Tony getting the Star Ledger because he was separated from Carmela, but we did see it in the intro. And instead of that, in this episode, we get an intro montage. And this is the first kind of indication that this season is going to be, in some ways radically different from the rest of the show. The montage is set to the song Seven Souls, and it features a reading from the author William S. Burroughs from his novel The Western Lands. The song and the reading from the novel really touch upon the themes of death and the afterlife, and these are themes that we're going to see throughout this season. And another interesting note is that almost 2 years have passed since last season. We see some changes. One, AJ is now in college, and two, Janice now has a daughter named Nika. And the sequence ends with Carmela dreaming about Adriana. She's thinking about, what might have happened to her since she disappeared a long time ago. And this is going to come up again in this season. Meanwhile, Tony helps Uncle Junior look for money that's buried in his backyard. Junior needs the money for his upcoming retrial. And he thinks that his old rival Pussy Malonga stole it. You'll remember that in the pilot episode, Junior was trying to kill Pussy Malonga in Artie's restaurant. So we can see that their rivalry goes back a long time. However, Pussy has been dead for years, and we can see that Junior is starting to lose his memory, his dementia is creeping back in, and he's, losing touch with his old self. Janice says that they should put him in Green Grove. It's an assisted living facility, and they can take care of him there. However, Tony refuses. He says that they're family, and that, family takes care of each other, even though that's where he put his mother at the beginning of season 1. Meanwhile, Phil is now the acting boss for Johnny Sack while he's in jail awaiting trial. There's still some lingering tension from last season. You'll remember that piece of shit Tony Soprano's cousin, I can't even say his name, killed Phil's brother, and Phil is still resentful even though he's agreed to put it behind him and move on. Later, one of Phil's men attacks Hesh and his son-in-law for stepping in on his territory, and Tony tries to arrange a sit-down with Phil, but Phil's not really cooperating with him. Tony goes to John's brother-in-law, a man named Anthony Infante. He's the brother of Ginny Sack. And Tony asks him to deliver a message to John for him. He then proceeds to steal some sunglasses from Anthony, which seems like a dick move if you're asking a guy for a favor and then you immediately steal from him. But Phil finally agrees to meet with Tony and they settle their business. Now, Christopher really hates dealing with Phil. Last season, Phil tried to have Christopher killed in revenge, but Tony says that they need to placate him to avoid conflict with New York. New York has over 200 soldiers in their family, and if it ever went to war between them, it's going to be very bad for the Soprano family. Foreshadowing. Meanwhile, Eugene meets with Tony and tells him that his aunt died and left him a $2 million inheritance. Now, Eugene wants to retire from the mafia and move to Florida. Tony is really hesitant to let him go, though, but he says that he'll think about it. Later, we see Eugene wearing a Members Only jacket. That's where the title comes from. Members Only not only refers to the clothing brand, but also the fact that Eugene is a member of the mafia, and that's part of the central conflict with him in this episode, whether he can leave or not. And it's also connected to the series finale, but we'll get to that later. But, speaking of fashion, everyone knows you can't have the toughest reputation in Essex County without a jacket. And now, thanks to the sponsor of this video, Members Only, you don't need to take it off a guy like Rocco DeMeo. I've partnered with Members Only, the actual clothing brand, and we are giving away a classic jacket like the one seen on the show to one of you. Wear it while eating with your crew, recognizing strangers in a fast food joint, or walking into a Holston's and doing nothing else. I've linked a Google form in the description of this video. Sign up there to be entered into the giveaway. This is my personal form, and the company will not see your info unless you win. I'll also be deleting the form and all the data once the giveaway is over. The winner will be selected 1 week after this video goes live, so I hope y'all are watching my videos right when they come out. If you're not, make sure to hit that bell icon to be alerted whenever my new videos come out. For everyone else though, don't worry. You can still rock your own Members Only swag with the promo link in the description. Special thank you again to Members Only for being big fans of the show and working with me to make this giveaway happen. Alright, let's get back to the episode. Meanwhile, Tony and Carmela have dinner at their new favorite sushi restaurant. Carmela reminds Tony that he needs to get the building inspector to clear the house that she's building with her father. However, Tony doesn't do it, and the inspector ends up stopping work on the house because Hugh used the incorrect wood for building the frame of the house. Carmela's upset by this, but Tony buys her a new car and she's distracted and she forgets all about it. She's really proud of the car, and she actually goes to Ginny Sack ostensibly to, take her out on a day to be nice to her, but really she's doing it to show off her new car. She just is so proud of it. However, later she has dinner with Angie Bonpensiero, and Angie shows her the car that she bought with her own money, and this kind of takes the wind out of Carmela's sails, and Carmela is really jealous that Angie was able to accomplish something on her own rather than having her husband buy it for her. Later on, Christopher says to Eugene that he'll talk to Tony for him if he'll do a hit. And Eugene agrees, and he goes into this restaurant and he kills a guy. And just FYI, he's wearing his Members Only jacket. I'm sure that's not connected to anything in the finale. However, afterwards, Tony still declines his request to leave. He says that he took an oath and there's no getting out of this life. His wife's really pissed off because she was really looking forward to moving to Florida, and she says that they need a fresh start. We learn that his son is a drug addict, they have a lot of problems in their family, and to add on top of all of that, we also learn that he is an FBI informant. And the FBI also tell him that he can't leave, they need him to build a case against Tony, so Eugene is really caught between a rock and a hard place here. He feels that there's no hope left for him or his family, so he decides to kill himself. And in the very last scene here, we see that Uncle Junior needs someone to look after him. Janice and Bobby are supposed to do it, but they're busy with their own bullshit, so Tony goes to watch Junior himself. Now, Junior is sunsetting, and he's really confused. He doesn't know who Tony is. He thinks that Tony is Pussy Malonga. So later on, Junior shoots Tony in the stomach and then runs upstairs and ends up hiding in the closet. Tony is bleeding out all across the floor. He's about to pass out, but he manages to call 911 and dial the phone right before he passes out. And that's where this episode ends. A really interesting ending, a great start to season 6. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next Soprano log coming tomorrow. On the first day of Sopranos Timber, my Gumar gave to me a Sopranos prequel movie. Special thank you to my patrons Hunter, Tommy Smith, Abdallah Alamari, George Jones, Russell, Sean, Graham, Rooftop, Rico Bellic, Part of Markness, Broccoli, Isaiah, Placenta Juan, Logan, Clean, John Reyna, Lance Klump, Jesse Sterling, Andrew Stewart, James, Conchok Chofel, Obstacle Racing Media, and Daz J. Kit.